Hello Slashers, Nightcrypt here, and welcome back to my channel. Now for today's video, I'll be doing a review of episode 1 of the Chucky TV series, as well as talking about what I think is going to happen next to the series, as there's a promo that was shown for the next coming episodes. So with all that said out of the way, let's get into this video. I wasn't originally going to make this video because I did like a little watch party with Damn Dude and Mike Shabante, the composer of Charles, and we watched the series and we pretty much talked about how we thought of the series after we watched the episode, like the very first episode. We had like a 30-minute conversation about what we thought of the show and stuff like that, and because of that I wasn't sure I even want to do this video, but I thought, you know what, why not? I think it could be a lot of fun, and so yeah, here we are. By the way, I should say that live stream where we watched episode 1 of the series, that was just a watch party. We couldn't actually show the show due to copyright, so I just want you guys to know, because I'm going to be doing that watch party thing every week, and I want you guys to know before you watch it that we can't actually show the show due to copyright. So we had to just pretty much give our commentary while the camera's pointed at us. But it's meant to just be a watch party, and I just wanted to say that real quick. But let's get into the review. So honestly, I think the series is pretty damn good so far. I left off a pretty good impression, for me at least. I'm just gonna say real quick, I think the acting's pretty good. I like Jake in the leading role, you know, Jake played by Zachary Arthur. I think that his acting was pretty decent. There were a few times where I felt like his line delivery could have been better, but besides that, I thought that he was pretty alright, and I liked his acting, and he really sold the character pretty well. There were a lot of moments where I felt really bad for Jake, and I was like, damn man, like, he's really going through it. So the show really does a good job of making you feel bad for Jake as a character, and making you hate some of the other characters around him, like, for example, you know, Lexi, man, spoiled brat. Junior, man, stick up for your cousin. And Oliver, man, don't even get me started on Oliver, man. What a fucking douchebag. And then Devin Evans, you know, I don't have an issue with him. He seems like a good guy. But I think that the comedy and horror is blended in here pretty well. I don't know if I'd say like Bride Chucky levels well, because I love Bride Chucky, but this is definitely the best we've seen Chucky in a very long time. Like, I really enjoyed Chucky's movement in this series and some of the stuff he says. I definitely enjoy his snark and whatnot. And there's a scene, I don't even want to say it because it's just, you know, if you guys want to watch the first episode, it's on YouTube. USA Network posted it, so if you guys weren't able to make it to the premiere, the first episode's on YouTube, and I'm sure that they're only going to do, like, upload the first episode, and then you have to watch the rest on their channels. But if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link to that down screen below, so you guys can watch the first episode if you guys weren't able to. And a lot of the story focus, aside from the Killer Doll Mayhem stuff, has a lot to do with Jake's sexuality, because if you guys did not know already, Jake is gay, and he is actually not even the first gay character in the franchise. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we got our first gay character in the franchise with David from Bride of Chucky. So pretty much one of the purposes of Jake's character is to tell a coming of age story about Jake's sexuality. And actually, if you guys did not know, some of these things that happened to Jake are things that happened in Don Mancini's real life, as he has confirmed in the past. And so I think this is really interesting, as it's kind of it's a personal story for Don Mancini, and overall I really liked Jake as a character. The dialogue, I know in some parts it's a little iffy. Definitely, as some people refer to it as, it has some camp to it, but you know, it's not all bad. I will say though, that talent show scene, man, I'm not even gonna spoil anything. It was, man, it was pretty goddamn crazy, and it was very entertaining. It was very different for the Chucky franchise. I will say though that Lexi gets her comeuppance in that scene, and it's fucking amazing. And going off of that, I will say that the first kill of the series, like the first actual kill, is very weird. I feel very mixed about it. I'm gonna get to it in a little bit. Of course, I'm gonna give like a spoiler warning before I talk about it, because I'm gonna start getting into spoiler territory later on this video. But it's just such a weird fucking kill, and it took me completely by surprise. I was like, whoa, what? And I feel mixed about it. I think it's unique and interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, why that? Like, could they have done something different? It was very weird, and I don't know how I feel about the kill, honestly. I kind of find it interesting, but at the same time, I'm just like, why? But overall, the first episode for me, I really liked it. I think that they did a good job at introducing us to Jake and getting us familiar with them for the first episode and really hooking us to the series in general. I'm very hooked. I cannot wait for part 2. I am definitely getting on that watch party as soon as they start airing episode 2. Like I said, first episode is definitely a 9 out of 10. I had a fun fucking time and it left off a good impression for me. I definitely want to know what you guys think about the series in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. You know, type out your thoughts and opinions on the series. Type out what you want to see for future episodes. You know, tell me all that stuff. I'd really love to know you guys' opinions. But those were my thoughts. I liked the series so far. For me, it was long worth the wait. And the doll itself looks way better in the series than in the promotional stuff. You guys would just have to see it. It looks really damn good. However, I think that some of the acting could use work. I think most of the acting is really good for the most part, but like I said, there are some lines that are said that I feel like could be said better. And then there's like things that happen and I'm like, well, why did this happen? For example, after the call with Andy Barkley that Jake has, he literally goes to his computer and searches up good guy doll violence. How does he know that the doll is violent if Andy didn't even mention it? That call that Jake had with Andy, he did not mention anything about Chucky killing people. So I don't know why he came to that conclusion. And I'm about to get into spoiler territory because I'm going to talk about more stuff. So if you guys haven't seen the series, like I said, watch the first episode. I'll leave a link down description below where you can actually watch it because, like I said, USA Network posted the full thing. So if you're interested, watch it. However, I think if you live in the UK or anywhere outside of the US, it's region locked. So I just want to warn you guys real quick. But I'm going to talk about some of the other stuff now. Now, the first kill is Jake's father. So pretty much, Jake's father punches Jake in the face. And then the power goes out and he notices that the whiskey's gone. And he goes downstairs and manages to get the power on, and right in front of him is Chucky just staring at him. And then after he notices Chucky standing right there, what does he do? He fucking throws up whiskey, which there are wires on the floor and it actually electrocutes him, and that's how Jake's father dies. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's an interesting kill, but at the same time, like, why? Like, why that for the first kill? It's so weird and outrageous, and I don't know how I feel about it. I feel very mixed about it, because I think it's interesting, but at the same time, it's like, why? Like, how does that work? Like, how is he able to store that much whiskey? Because as much as Chucky puked in that scene, the whiskey bottle was not that full from what I remember. So it's like, it was just a really weird scene. I don't know how I feel about it. Other than that, I thought the series was pretty good, the very first episode. But that kill, I hope we see better kills than that. I'm sure we will, but that kill is just, it was just weird, and it reminded me of The Exorcist and Team America. That's not a good thing. Well, not the Team America part, but I'm sure that he got his inspirations for that scene from The Exorcist. I do want to mention that at the part where Jake is talking to Andy, before Andy hangs up, he says, "Hello, who's there?" And I'm thinking that one of the Chuckies or even Tiffany are pursuing him and are in the shadows about to attack, because he seems kind of concerned when he says it. And so it's like, I have a feeling that a Chucky or even Tiffany is about to attack him. I do want to mention how Chucky ended up at the yard sale, because I know that I was wondering how he ended up there. So there's a woman that I believe she's like wearing red, and she like walks by. You can't tell who she is because her back's turned to the camera, but that's Tiffany walking by, and that's even confirmed by Dom Mancini. Tiffany's in that scene. As she walks by, she drops off Chucky and walks away. And I think that's pretty cool. Just a little subtle thing that you wouldn't know unless someone told you. And I find that pretty interesting, how they just did that. And didn't actually show it was her. I do want to talk about the red-haired teacher. People think that that's Glenda. Now, first off, I don't know if Glenda would be that age around the time that the series would happen. I don't know if she'd actually be, because the teacher looks like she's maybe in her like late 20s, early 30s. I think it's a pretty cool theory though, because she does cuss and she has literally no filter, which not a lot of teachers are allowed to do that. I've been cussed out by a teacher before. I don't remember exactly what I did, but it happened. So it's not completely unrealistic, but it's very unlikely. And it's also very unprofessional, so I don't know why she's like throwing around like F-bombs and stuff. The most that usually teachers say is like a word like crap or damn or something like that. Something very tame. And she even turns off the lights to the classroom before she leaves Lexi in the room with Chucky. And people think that's another reason why it could be Gwenda. But I should mention real quick that shot where Chucky's on top of a woman, like I said, I thought that was Nika because of the jacket that she's wearing. Like, it looks like very Charles Lee Ray-ish, but a lot of people are saying that that's actually the teacher, and I mean, you can't really tell who it is, so just go with it, you know. It's probably the teacher, but we'll see. But I just want to talk about all that, and now I want to talk about that little promo for the next episode, or the next episodes, I guess. I just want to talk about what I think is going to happen next and whatnot. And so let's talk about all that. So something to mention for the next episode, Chucky will target Lexi, which will lead to the scene of him under the bed as Lexi and Junior are in the room. I thought initially he'd be targeting Oliver in episode 2 because of the plot synopsis, but at the same time it says frenemy in the plot synopsis, so I mean, I guess it makes sense he's gonna try to go after Lexi, but I don't know how successful he's really gonna be. But Chucky does confirm at the end of episode 1 that he does want to take care of her and just overall kill her. Oliver could also be killed in the same episode 2 though. We'll just have to wait and see. I think that Oliver might die in episode 2 because, to be fair, they're not gonna kill off Lexi. But this will be interesting to see this whole episode because Chucky will go undercover as a trick-or-treater, as this episode takes place on Halloween. So he'll be pretending to be a trick-or-treater to get to Lexi's house, as he can't just go walk around out in the public while everyone's trick-or-treating, because people are going to see that he's no kid, he's a doll. I assume that when they do get to Lexi's house though, Lexi embarrasses Jake somehow, because we do see some scenes that take place at the house, and it looks like he's embarrassed about something as he's there. This or episode 3, but it seems like this episode, we'll get to see Chucky trying to push Jake to murder people. Chucky asks Jake if he's a stabby kind of guy or a strangulation kind of guy, just in case he wants to keep the circulation going. He also says things like everyone's a killer if you push them far enough. So Chucky's trying to push this thought into Jake's head that killing is okay. This is something we haven't seen with Chucky or just anything in general. It'll be interesting because it's a different kind of manipulation than we've seen Chucky do before. Lexi may still be upset about her embarrassment in the talent show as she tells Jake to stay away from her. Or maybe she suspects he'll hurt her as we see shots of Jake charging at Lexi. It looks like Junior is going through Jake's stuff here to try and find out what no good stuff Jake is up to. So I think that Junior may suspect Jake of something, so he's going through his stuff and he's in his room snooping around. I like how Devin says you really killed it at the talent show, and automatically that reminded Jake of Murder Time with Chucky. And we see Oliver in some of these shots, so I'm assuming that like a murder just happened with Oliver. He just got killed off or something. So I'm just assuming that if Chucky can't get Lexi, he'll get Oliver, because I'm sure that there's gonna be at least one person that dies in every episode. Here's that abandoned house again, and Devin in one shot is even tied up. I wonder if that's like after the scene where Chucky charges at Devin and Devin tases him and sends him flying across the room. I wonder if it's like after that, like Chucky somehow like bests him and manages to knock him unconscious and then tie him up. This shot of Lexi hanging off the railing, we see a doll coming up to her People have been speculating that this is the Tiffany doll. It's too dark to really tell, but I think it could very well be possible. Or maybe it's just Chucky, as we know Chucky will be at this house, as we've seen shots of this scene, and we see Chucky there, so this just may be Chucky, and it might just be a false alarm. But it would be cool if it was Tiffany. But at this point though, it seems Jake is on Lexi and them's side, as it looks like for a while he'll be under Chucky's control and under his manipulation, but you can see that Jake is trying to lift Lexi up. Nika, possessed by Chucky, says, "Here we are again," which makes me think this is directed towards Andy. It seems kind of like a long time no see pal kind of situation here. I don't want to elaborate on stuff too much, so let's skip a little forward. Andy shows up to the Wheelers' residence looking for Jake. I don't know how he finds their address, but I'm thinking he'll show up to try and fight Chucky alongside Jake and the others. Jake seems to be practicing his skills on that doll sculpture. I guess he rebuilt it. Devin's mom doesn't want Devin around Jake, it seems like, due to the murders that surround him. So she forbids Devin from being around him. Chucky unplugs something at the hospital. This is either tied to Junior or Lexi's sister, as we do see shots of Lexi's sister at the hospital in a hospital bed. But my guess is it's Junior. I'm pretty sure around this time Chucky's gonna try to murder Junior in a scene where Junior's completely isolated and vulnerable. Junior's mom and dad seem very upset about something here. Could it be because Junior ended up in the hospital? Or could it be tied to the maid? Because we do know that the maid does indeed die by getting impaled on some knives. Chucky strangely gives a woman an apple, which looks like it has a razor blade inside of it, as she's bleeding later on, and describes Chucky as a red-headed child to the authorities. Man, if only she knew. We get two new awesome shots of Chucky. One of Chucky looking overly excited, which makes him look like he's actually about to kill someone. And Chucky surrounded in fire. Lexi's room, more like. Both shots look fucking awesome. And to end the promo, we see Chucky attacking Lexi as she smokes that weed, hopping on her back. So that's my little breakdown of the promo and what to possibly expect from episode 2 and episode 3 and 4 possibly. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about all that stuff real quick and go over it with you guys. Those are just theories and speculation. I'm not sure how true any of those things I said are. We'll just have to wait and find out. Another promo for episode 2 is released. This will be a lot quicker to talk about, so let's talk about it. Jake is knowing about something. From the background, it looks like this may be the part where the maid dies, like where she gets impaled on the knives and stuff. Jake and Devin exit what looks like a bathroom or a closet and are greeted by people cheering them on. What's going on? And that kid right there on the left may be Oliver, as he throws a party. More on this later. Devin asks his mom what happened, most likely concerned for Jake. "We only kill people who have it coming," Chucky says, trying to drill that mindset into Jake's head. We all know by now Chucky kills who he wants. Remember that party they brought up a second ago that apparently Oliver's throwing? Well, Oliver tells Jake that he's having a party and to bring Chucky. So, I have a feeling that Oliver either wants Chucky for some entertainment and to roast the fuck out of some people, or maybe he is planning something for him or sister and fucked up for Jake, and will only try to embarrass him, because on stage with Chucky, they embarrassed Lexi and him, pretty much calling them both out. And lastly, Lexi says that she's not afraid of Jake. I wonder why she would say that. Is someone suggesting that she may be? Like Junior maybe? And why would she have to say that? Is she beginning to fear her safety towards Jake by any chance? I don't know, but that's my breakdown for that promo. If you want to watch both promos in their entirety, link down in bio. I forgot to also mention my review part of this video, that little phone call that Junior's mom, aka Jake's Aunt Bree, has, and Chucky refers to a quote-unquote secret in the talent show, and so I'm wondering if she's been cheating on her husband, or maybe it's something even more sinister, but we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, after all, the plot synopsis of the show does say something about the talent's hypocrisies, so maybe it's not her cheating after all. Maybe there's something way more disturbing going on, but it seems like she was definitely cheating against some side dick. But we'll just have to wait and see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and definitely subscribe to become a slasher. All social media links and my merch just below. Thank you guys so much for watching my episode 1 review and what I think is going to happen in episode 2. I was very skeptical on if I even wanted to make this video, but I decided, you know what, why not? It could be a lot of fun. You guys may enjoy it, so I'm trying this out. If it works out, I will try to get one of these videos out after every single episode until the very last episode, and then I'll probably do like an ending explained video or something like that. But I'm out of here, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, guys, to keep on slashing.
What? You don't like it?